She laughed when I said I felt like she was hiding something. You watch too many movies, she said. Then I found a locked folder on her laptop named Do Not Open. I opened it. Screenshots. Videos. A vacation with him. I made a scrapbook. Mailed it to her mom. I met Claire in the fall of 2018. I was 34, living in a modest apartment in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, working as a graphic designer for a local advertising firm. She was 32, a school teacher with a passion for photography. We met at a mutual friend's Halloween party. She was dressed as a 1920s flapper, and I was a half-hearted Dracula. Our connection was instant. We started dating shortly after, and within a year, she moved into my apartment. Life was good. We shared a love for classic movies, weekend hikes, and Sunday morning pancakes. She was kind, funny, and supportive. I had never been happier. Around early 2021, things began to change. Claire became distant. She started working late more often, and our conversations grew shorter. She was always on her phone, smiling at messages she wouldn't share. When I asked, she'd say it was just school-related. One evening, I confronted her. Claire, is everything okay? You've been distant lately. She laughed. You watch too many movies. I'm just busy with work. I wanted to believe her, but something felt off. A few weeks later, Claire left her laptop open while she went to take a shower. Curiosity got the better of me. I noticed a folder on her desktop labeled Do Not Open. It was password protected. I shouldn't have, but I did. After several guesses, I tried our anniversary date. It opened. Inside were hundreds of files, photos, videos, screenshots. They were of her and another man, Mark, a colleague from her school. They were intimate, laughing, holding hands, kissing. There were videos of them on a vacation in Florida, the same week she claimed to be at a teacher's conference. My heart sank. I felt betrayed, humiliated, and angry. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I copied all the files onto a USB drive. I spent the next few days creating a scrapbook. Each page contained a photo or screenshot, accompanied by captions detailing dates and locations. I included printouts of their hotel bookings, dinner reservations, and even a receipt for a necklace he bought her. Once completed, I mailed the scrapbook to her mother, a devout Catholic who adored me. I also sent copies to her school principal and a few of her close friends. Claire's world unraveled quickly. Her mother called me in tears, apologizing for her daughter's actions. The school launched an investigation, and both Claire and Mark were suspended pending further review. Her friends distanced themselves, shocked by her betrayal. Claire confronted me, furious. How could you do this? I replied, you laughed when I said I felt like you were hiding something. You told me I watched too many movies. I guess this time, the plot twist was real. I moved out of the apartment and started fresh. It took time, but I healed. I focused on my work, traveled, and reconnected with old friends. The experience taught me the importance of trust and the pain of betrayal. As for Claire, last I heard, she moved to another state, trying to rebuild her life. I wish her well, but I don't regret my actions. Sometimes, the truth needs to be unveiled, no matter how painful. After I moved into a small one-bedroom place near the Milwaukee Riverwalk, I thought that would be the end of it. Done. Dusted. But it wasn't. Not even close. A week later, I started getting messages. Random Facebook accounts. Emails. Even a handwritten note left on my car windshield. They all said the same thing. You think you know everything, but you only saw what she wanted you to see. I laughed at first. Thought it was just Claire lashing out, trying to play mind games. But the notes kept coming. One day, an envelope showed up in my mailbox, no return address. Inside were 3 photographs. One was of Claire and Mark, but they looked angry, mid-argument, not happy. Another showed Claire crying alone on a park bench. The third one was taken from behind a bush or something. It showed Mark, but he wasn't alone. He was kissing a different woman. Now I wasn't just confused. I was pissed again. Did Claire know? Was she just another one of his side games? Her name was Talia. I tracked her down after recognizing the necklace she wore in the picture, a unique silver feather thing Claire had mentioned before. Social media made it easy. Turns out she lived just outside of Madison. I drove there one weekend without really knowing what I was going to say. She opened the door with tired eyes. Maybe she had been crying. Maybe she always looked like that. I introduced myself. She froze when I said Mark's name. You too, huh? She whispered. Then she let me in. Turns out Talia had been with Mark for 6 years. 6. They were even planning to move in together. He told her Claire was just a coworker. She's got a boyfriend anyway, he had said. Yeah, that boyfriend was me. We shared stories. Laughed. Cried a little, too. I left her place with a sense of eerie calm. I wasn't just the only one betrayed. There was a pattern here. A sick one. It didn't stop with Talia. 2 weeks after meeting her, another woman contacted me. Lydia. Blonde, early 40s, sharp voice on the phone. She said, I'm Mark's wife. I nearly dropped my phone. Apparently, Mark had been married the whole time. To her. They lived in a nice 2-story house in the suburbs of Greenfield. No kids. Just lies. And secrets. Lots of secrets. She found out because of the scrapbook I made. Claire had gone to Lydia's workplace to explain everything after the scandal hit the school. Claire, in her desperation, spilled everything to her, including the USB drive. Lydia didn't yell. Didn't scream. She just asked me to meet her. So we met. At a diner, of all places. Her hands shook as she sipped her coffee. She wanted justice. Revenge. Closure. All of it. I think we need to make this public, she said. Expose him. Together, we pulled everything. Text messages, pictures, dates, names. Claire gave us some of her side too. Even she admitted Mark had manipulated her. Promised her love, a future. He said he'd leave his wife. She whispered once in a call. We wrote it all out. A full expose. Talia had a cousin who worked for a local independent news site. They bit hard. It was juicy. It was real. And it was all backed with receipts. 2 weeks after the article dropped, titled The Man Who Had 3 Lives, it went viral. Local radio picked it up. It made it onto Reddit. Wisconsin's real-life soap opera. One comment read, Mark? He got fired. His marriage ended. His house went up for sale. Last anyone heard, he was living in a trailer park in Michigan. Then something I didn't expect happened. Claire called me. I didn't answer the first 5 times. But the 6th time, I picked up. She sounded broken. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't know the whole story. I feel so stupid. I really did love you. That hit me harder than I expected. Love? Maybe once. But not anymore. Not now. Still, I listened. Maybe I needed closure too. I didn't cheat because I didn't care about you, she said. I did it because I didn't care about myself. He made me feel special. Like I mattered. Until he didn't. She asked to meet. One last time. Said she had something to give me. We met at the same park where she once took photos of me feeding the ducks. She handed me a leather-bound notebook. Her journal. The last year of it was all about him. And me. And the mess in between. Read it, she said. Then do what you want with it. Burn it. Post it online. I don't care. I just need you to know I was human in all this. I haven't read it yet. Still sits on my desk. But I think I will. Eventually. I avoided Claire's journal for weeks. It sat on the corner of my desk, collecting dust like it was radioactive. I didn't want to relive any of it. But something about that cover, like it was holding a secret even she hadn't meant to give away. One night, after 2 fingers of bourbon and too much silence, I opened it. The pages were filled with heartbreak, longing, and confusion. She wrote about the thrill of sneaking around, the guilt, the coldness she started feeling toward me, and how she hated herself for it. But then there was something else. A name. Eli. At first I thought she meant Mark, but the context didn't fit. She wrote about Eli in a way she hadn't written about either of us. There were phrases like, he said he'd take care of it. He said no one would ever believe me. I think he knew about Mark. Or maybe he followed me. I flipped through more. It was scattered. Unclear. But one entry chilled me. He was watching the night I came home late. I know it. A few days after reading that, I got home from work late. It was cold and raining. I parked in my usual spot. As I turned to grab my bag from the passenger seat, I caught a flash of movement near the dumpsters. A man. Standing still. Just watching. I locked my doors. He didn't move. I turned on my headlights. He vanished behind the building. Was it paranoia? Maybe. But Claire's words came back like an echo. He was watching. Then Talia disappeared. One day, she was texting me about some old messages she found from Mark. The next, her number was disconnected. Her apartment was empty. She hadn't told me she was moving. No note. No boxes. Nothing. I contacted Lydia. She hadn't heard from her either. Then an envelope arrived in my mailbox. No return address. Again. Inside was a Polaroid photo. Black and white. Grainy. Talia, in a car. Window cracked. Someone's hand on her shoulder from outside the vehicle. Her eyes wide with fear. On the back of the photo, in handwriting I didn't recognize, some truths stay buried for a reason. Lydia called me in a panic the next day. "You need to stop," she said. "This whole thing, it's bigger than just Mark." "What do you mean?" "He used to get money. Every month. I found his old banking statements. Thousands coming in. From some foundation tied to a private counseling center in Chicago. Except the center doesn't exist anymore. And the owner? He's dead. Murdered. In 2014. I didn't sleep that night. Claire didn't show up for work one Monday. Her phone went to voicemail. Her mother called me, frantic. She hadn't seen her in days. I drove to her apartment. Door locked. I had the spare key still, bad habit. Inside, everything looked normal. Except her laptop was gone. And the journal? It was missing from my desk. Someone had been in my place. There was only one thing left behind. A note on the table, scrawled in thick black ink. "Tell anyone, and you're next." After Claire went missing, I knew I couldn't trust anyone. Not the cops, not mutual friends, not even Lydia anymore. Something was off. I went back to the journal, not the real one. It was gone, but scanned pages I'd saved. In one entry, Claire mentioned a place called Brookstone Counseling in Chicago. She never said why, only that Eli told me that's where it all started. I drove to the address. It was a burnt-out building now, half collapsed. A stray dog barked as I parked. The mail slot was rusted shut. But behind the old sign, something was nailed to the wall. A photo of me, Claire and I, sitting on a park bench from years ago. Someone had circled my face in red ink, and written below it in jagged handwriting, "The one who started it all." I drove home in a fog, every red light blurring past me. Started it all? What the hell did that mean? I went back through old files, bank records, emails, photos. I started searching names connected to Claire, Mark, Talia, even Lydia. And then I found it. Eli Carradine, a name in an old email Claire sent to her friend. I ran a background check. Eli wasn't just some random guy. He was a licensed therapist. Used to work at Brookstone Counseling. Lost his license for patient manipulation and something worse, misuse of confidential info for personal gain. He had relationships with multiple patients, including Claire. I found a news article about the shutdown. Lawsuits. Claims of a secret project where Eli convinced vulnerable people that they were part of something bigger, a conspiracy, a secret game, a test of loyalty. Claire had been one of them. Suddenly, it hit me. Claire didn't fall for Mark because I wasn't good enough. She fell because she was already broken. Because Eli had messed with her head long before I ever knew her. And I took her pain and turned it into a weapon. The scrapbook, the public shaming, the mailing it to her mom, her boss, everyone. I made it worse. I fed the fire Eli had started. I didn't just expose the affair. I destroyed someone who was already crumbling. And now she was gone. 3 months later, I got an envelope. Inside, a flash drive. No name. No note. I plugged it into an old laptop. There were 3 files, a video of Claire, eyes hollow, voice shaking. I thought he'd help me. I thought I was getting better. But Eli just replaced my thoughts with his own. And when you found out, I didn't know who I was anymore. A photo of Eli, unconscious, bloody, slumped in a chair. Behind him, Claire, holding a fire poker. A suicide note. Handwritten. "For everyone who broke me, I broke back. I'm sorry I hurt you. But you hurt me too. Now it's over. All of it. Don't look for me. There's nothing left to find." The police never found her body. Eli was found dead in an abandoned motel in Indiana, his body left to rot for weeks. The room was set on fire. No fingerprints. Just a single word burned into the carpet with acid. Believe. Mark vanished. No one knows where he went. Some say South America. Others think Claire got to him too. Talia resurfaced. Changed her name. She wants nothing to do with any of us. Lydia moved to California. And me? I live alone now. I stopped checking the mail. I don't answer calls from numbers I don't know. Sometimes, late at night, I hear someone walking outside my door. Sometimes, I hear her voice, whispering. You watch too many movies, but this time, I don't laugh.